Thank you. Thank you, Brooklyn College. What an honor. What an honor it is to be here with you today. Can we hear a round of applause for Luis? And a round of applause for incredible elected officials that we have here from the city, the state, the federal level who are here with us tonight. And for Brooklyn College. And when I sit next to Senator Sanders, I always have to ask, is labor in the house? Is PSC CUNY in the house? I cannot begin my remarks this evening without first acknowledging PSC CUNY and the incredible members that we have here. And the fact that no faculty member should be disciplined for supporting Palestinian human rights. And I want to thank PSC CUNY for standing alongside their rank and file. And it is an honor to be here alongside Senator Sanders, Senator Bernie Sanders. And I just want to share what Bernie has meant to me. It was Bernie's campaign for the presidency in 2016 that gave me the language of democratic socialism to describe my politics. And it was Bernie's Queensbridge rally on October 19th, 2019. That was the first political event of my campaign for state assembly. Now, that was unbeknownst to Bernie and his team. We were canvassing the line to get into his rally. We were asking for $1, $5, $10, emails, whatever we could. And we did that, and we walked inside to this rally, and I remember the electrifying feeling we felt of a campaign reborn and a movement reborn alongside every single borough of this city. And when Bernie walked out to Back in Black by AC/DC, those who were there remember, we felt as if possibility was a fact of life. And his campaign continued to inspire so many of us. And as I ran for state assembly for the many months beyond that, we continued to look to him and his campaign and his vision as the compass for the work that we wanted to do in electoral politics. And we knew that while everyday New Yorkers did not care very much for a New York State Assembly race, that if we just had a watch party for a Bernie debate, we could finally get them. We could just get them if we said it was about Bernie. And I share this because I know that for so many here, it is a similar story. It is a similar story of seeing yourself in a movement, in a campaign, in a politics that you were told for so long was impossible to find. Now, we know... Brother, I'm here with another democratic socialist. Thank you, my friend. You know that something has changed when it's not enough to call us democratic socialists anymore. Because he knows what we know, which is that the fight for each and every person to live a dignified life is a fight that is very popular across this country. Now, many of you here, and myself included, we first knew of Bernie as a senator, as a candidate for president. But before that, Bernie was the mayor of Burlington. A four-term mayor. And in the same year that Ronald Reagan won, not just the presidency, but the state of Vermont, Bernie was in his 30s, a democratic socialist, running against someone who had been powerful and well-known for years, an opponent who struggled to pronounce his last name. There are some parallels. And Bernie won that race by 10 votes. And then he won again, and he won again, and he won again. And the motto of not just Bernie's campaign, but governance, was Burlington is not for sale. And it is a motto that drove the work that he did when he fought back against corporate greed to transform the Lake Champlain waterfront not simply into testaments to profit, but instead a living, breathing testament to what is possible for investing in working people. When he fought for affordable housing, when he took on a broken property tax system, when he continued to show what it looked like for city government to understand dignity as its responsibility. That is how Bernie fought. And we know that in that motto of Burlington is not for sale, we see echoes in our own struggle today, where we have to say that New York City is not for sale. New York City is not for sale to Donald Trump's billionaire donors. It is not for sale to corporations like DoorDash. It is not for sale to corrupt politicians like Andrew Cuomo. And Bernie has continued to lead in this movement, going from Burlington is not for sale to fighting back against oligarchy coast to coast in this country. And that fight, not just against oligarchy, but for democracy, is a fight that has energized tens of thousands of Americans across this country. It has shown once again that politics is something that can be powered by ordinary people, with not just a rejection of authoritarianism, but a belief in what is possible as well. And we know that that oligarchy has an impact right here in New York City. We know it does because when Donald Trump ushered through his so-called Big Beautiful Bill, he did so ushering through the greatest wealth transfer in American politics. His legislation will throw millions of New Yorkers off of their health care. For a man who campaigned on cheaper grocery prices, it will cut SNAP benefits for the hungriest among us. And all of this to give more money to those who already have more than they know what to do with. That is the fight that we are seeing taking place here. The interconnectedness of an attack on working people, all to enrich those same billionaire donors that gave us Donald Trump's second term. That is the fight that unites us across this country in this moment. A fight where we make clear that this is a city where we will choose our own mayor. It's not going to be Donald Trump. It's not going to be Bill Ackman. It's not going to be DoorDash. We will choose our mayor. And we know that this fight is not an easy one. It was not an easy fight for Bernie when he led Burlington. It was a fight that took every single thing, every single day. But are you committed to continue this fight? I need to know, are you committed to continue this fight? Because I want to be clear. We are not just here together with the message to come out and vote in November, though that is critically important. We will continue to organize beyond the election. We will continue to organize because we have an agenda to win. The promises we have made are promises we must keep. And so together we will freeze the, make buses fast and deliver universal. We will freeze the, make buses fast and deliver universal. We will do these things and we will do them together. If anyone tells you that after you cast your vote, you have done your job, tell them it is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. Because in a city where 1 in 4 are living in poverty, in a city where for the 9th consecutive year 100,000 children in our school system are homeless, in a city where 500,000 of those children go to sleep hungry every single night, it will take all of us to ensure that dignity is not only possible, but it is a reality for each and every New Yorker. And one of the many things that we love about Bernie is you could go to any year that he has been in politics and you will find him saying the same thing. The same thing. No matter if the photo is in black and white or it's in color, you know it's about income inequality, it's about justice, it's about dignity. But today, Bernie said something to me that no man is an island. We are all in this struggle because someone brought it to us. And as we remember that, we must know that now it is also our turn to not only join this struggle, but to lead this struggle. It is a time for all of us to see ourselves as the people who could deliver the world that we deserve. And in this moment, we must make clear, this is an intergenerational struggle. This is a struggle, not just for some, not just for the young, not just for the few, not just for those in the beginning of their lives and their careers. This is a struggle for everyone. It is a struggle for everyone because it is about everyone. We talk about our vision. It is a vision of universality. It is not one where we ask you your name, where we ask you where you were born, where we ask you your religion, where we ask you your status. We simply ask you to join us. That is our question. And so it is an honor to be here alongside an icon of our struggle. And also, we know that Bernie once famously said, if you want someone to wish you happy birthday, that's not me. But he also said, not me, us. And on Monday, it will be Senator Sanders' birthday, and I ask you to join me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I need your help with my voice. Happy birthday, Bernie Sanders. Happy birthday. And now the senator from the great state of Vermont, Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And it is an honor and privilege to be with you this evening and to congratulate the next mayor of the city of New York, on an extraordinary campaign. This guy started at 2% in the polls, and he blew away the opposition. And what was most extraordinary about his primary campaign and the campaign he is running right now is his campaign is not ugly 30-second TV ads. It is a grassroots movement, which you have been part of. I don't know, Zohran, if it's a world record or not, but having 50,000 volunteers in a mayor's election, pretty good to me. Now, as part of our Fighting Oligarchy tour, which Zohran is joining me on tonight, we have now been to 21 states. We have done 35 events for over 300,000 people from Maine to California. And what I can tell you without any fear of hesitation is the American people in red states and in blue states do not want to live in an oligarchic society. They do not want to live in an authoritarian society. They do not want the White House to be practicing unprecedented kleptocracy. And they sure as hell do not want to see a continuation of the oligarchs' war against the working class of this country. And what Zohran's campaign is about is an understanding that today we are living in an unprecedented moment in the modern history of our country, and we have got to fight back in an unprecedented way. So let me say a few words. Let me just say a few words about what's going on in this country. Thoughts I think you're not going to see in corporate media, you're not going to hear in the halls of Congress. Today in America, we have more income and wealth inequality than we have ever had in the history of America. Zohran just talked about children in New York City and in Vermont who are hungry, people who are homeless, and yet the wealthiest 1% have never had it so good. If you can believe it, today you have, and it's important that we feel the outrage of children going hungry, people being homeless, 85 million without health care, and you got one guy, Mr. Musk, whose own wealth is more than the bottom 52% of American households. And you may have seen in the papers, they want to give him a little bonus. Another $800–900 billion. We are living in crazy world. Millions of people struggling to put food on the table, and making one guy a trillionaire is insane. Not what this country is supposed to be about, and we are not going to allow that to happen. But it's not only income and wealth inequality. Today you have more concentration of ownership in America in every major sector: financial services, transportation, agriculture, media. You got a handful of giant corporations that determine what is produced, how workers are treated, and what you pay for those products. But it's not just income and wealth inequality. It is not just a small number of people controlling our economy. You have 6 major media conglomerates that control in this country what 90% of our people see, hear, and read. It is not an accident, brothers and sisters, that Mr. Musk owns Twitter. Not an accident that Mr. Zuckerberg owns Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook. Not an accident that Mr. Ellison recently bought Paramount, which owns CBS. Not an accident that Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post and Twitch. Not an accident that our good friend Rupert Murdoch owns the New York Post, Wall Street Journal, and right-wing publications all over the world. Bottom line, never before in American and, in fact, world history have so few people had so much wealth and economic power. And with this development of AI, which is a whole world unto itself, they're going to have, unless we stop them, more concentration of ownership and more power. But it's not just the economy that these guys control. And that is what we're seeing and what makes this particular campaign of interest worldwide. These guys control, especially since the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, we have a situation where it is perfectly legal for billionaires to set up super PACs and spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars supporting candidates who will protect the interests of the rich and defeating candidates who are trying to represent working families. So in other words, what you are seeing now is an oligarchy with enormous economic power and enormous political power in both political parties. And what this campaign is about, and why it is so enormously important, is it a test case? It is a test case of whether or not democracy is still able to prevail. You know, in the old days, I mean, money has always played an enormous role in politics. Nothing new about that. But in the old days, they kind of kept it secret. Right now, you got people like Bill Ackman and others saying openly, front pages of the newspapers, we will spend as much as it takes to defeat this guy. You have the President of the United States working to make it harder for him to get elected. So what are these people, these oligarchs, afraid of? Seems to be a nice guy, dresses very nice, beautiful smile. Unlike me, he's a pleasant guy. What the hell are they afraid of? And what they are afraid of, brothers and sisters, is not only the question of bringing justice to New York City. You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of Mr. Mamdani becoming an example to what can happen all over this country. That's what this campaign is about. They are scared to death. If 50 or 70,000 people in New York City can get involved in the political process, that means that millions of people coast to coast can get involved and elect progressive leaders. That's what this campaign is about. And you know what else they're afraid? They have, because they control media, and political life, and economic life, they control in many ways the culture of America. And this is what the culture today is about. It's about walking the streets of America and finding people sleeping out on the street. It's about seeing 60% of our people living paycheck to paycheck, while the people on top are becoming phenomenally rich. And what the culture says basically is, you are powerless. There is nothing you can do about it, because the oligarchs own it all. They have unbelievable wealth. They have power. They own the media. They own the political system. You are powerless. And what we are here tonight to say is, to hell with you. We're going to take you on. We're going to defeat you. That's what this campaign, and that's what fighting oligarchy is about. They want to tell you that we cannot change this incredibly unfair and unjust status quo. Think about what Zohran is campaigning on. Every psychologist in the world tells us that 0 through 4 are the most important years of human development, right? In Washington, I hear all of my colleagues, they love America. Oh my God, got big flags all over the place. Well, if you love America, you love the children of America. If you love the children of America, you don't have hungry kids in Vermont or New York City. And you don't have a broken and dysfunctional and unaffordable child care system. Oh my God, what a radical idea to say that parents and kids should have good quality child care. Oh, how radical you are. Oh my God. All over this country, in Vermont, in New York City, people cannot afford their housing. Now, it's a funny thing. I did some calculations. I grew up, as some of you may know, about a mile away from here. And I grew up in a family that did not have a lot of money, and we lived in a rent-controlled apartment. So my dad never made any money, but we were able to live with an element of security. And I did some calculations based on my dad's income. We were spending back then, Zohran, about 18% of our family's income on housing. 18%. Okay? First year of college, I went to Brooklyn College. If my memory is correct, and my brother graduated from Brooklyn College before me. And when he graduated, do you know what tuition was in Brooklyn College? It was zero. It was zero in state colleges in Vermont. It was zero at the University of California. It was zero in many great public colleges and universities. What a radical idea. You want to make college affordable. Unheard of. We only had it 70 years ago. What a radical idea to say that we should stabilize rents so that working class people can live in this city. What a radical idea to say that working class families should be able to go into a grocery store in an area where there are food deserts and be able to afford decent quality food for their children. Oh, man. What a radical guy he is. What's the point? The point is you've been sold a bill of goods. You've been told that this is the best America can be. You've been told that it's okay for a few to have unbelievable wealth while 60% struggle to put food on the table and pay their rent. You've been told that it's okay that we got kids all over this country who give up the dream of a higher education because they can't afford it and don't want to go deeply into debt. You've been told that it is okay for working class parents to have to spend 30–40% of their limited incomes on child care. That's what you've been told. Well, what Zohran is telling you and what I am telling you tonight, that is a crock of dash. And here is the story that they don't want to get out. In the richest country in the history of the world, it is not a radical idea to say that every man, woman, and child in America can have a decent standard of living. That ain't radical. It's not radical to say that we can have a vibrant democracy by getting rid of Citizens United and moving to public funding of elections. It's not radical to say that the billionaire class has got to start paying their fair share of taxes. It is not radical to say that health care is a human right, not a privilege. And that we should not be the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child. It is not radical to say that we should have the best educational system from child care to graduate school in the world. It is not radical to say that we should not have the highest rate of childhood poverty, the highest rate of senior poverty of almost any major country on earth. And by the way, it is not radical to say that we should have a foreign policy based on humanity and based on justice. That we should not be spending tens of billions of dollars on the government of Israel that is currently starving children to death. That is not radical. That is what the American people want. So, brothers and sisters, what this struggle is about, and let me not kid you, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough because these guys, these oligarchs, they are very religious people. Their religion is greed. You would think that if you had a couple of $1 billion, it might be enough. Not for them. These are strongly motivated people. They work very hard. They want more and more and more, and they don't care whom they destroy in the process. So they have the wealth, they have the power. But you know what we got? And that's what Zohran's campaign is showing. We have the people. And the whole world, after Zohran is elected, the whole world, all the oligarchs are going to come down hard on him. Believe me, they will. Media will come down hard on him. So he's going to have to figure out a new way to govern. And you are going to be an integral part of that governing. So brothers and sisters, I want to thank all of you for coming out in this difficult moment in American history. And I want to remind you what you already know. What's going on here in New York City in this campaign is being watched all over America, all over the world. So the struggle we are engaged in is not just for us. It's not just for our kids. It is for the future of this planet. It's for the future of democracy. This is a fight we cannot and will not lose. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, we have, Faz, raise your hand. Socrates, where are you? Jeremy, okay. We have a couple of mics going out there. We have time for a few questions. make your question short and direct it to either Zohran or myself. Okay, I see you. Yes, right up here, ma'am. Yeah, stand up. Wait for the mic. Be loud.
Hi, I'm a teacher. My name's Heather. And this is my 23rd year teaching. I moved here in 2016, so I'm part of Tier 6. So I was just wondering what your plan was to help Tier 6 people, get better retirement.
Can you put your hand up if you do not know